You're listening to End of the Reel.
Oh my god!
G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and today we watched a movie. It is Twisted Pair by Neil Breen. It is definitely for me, it felt more like a fever dream of multiple movies mashed together. But let's just get into it. So I'm your host, Jared, and here's my co-host, Ethan.
Hi.
Yeah, so Ethan, we forced one of our friends to watch Twisted Pair with us.
Yeah.
It's something I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I've been wanting to watch a Neil Breen film, but you never seemed that keen on it, and
you know
did.
what? I got exactly what I was expecting. It is like, it's like your 14-year-old sort of on the spectrum cousin has made an hour and 40-minute movie.
See, I actually
with
like
some of his school friends, and that's the level of acting and story.
No, see, our friend said
it's just weird.
Our friend was more like a 4-year-old running around playing like imaginary
the
worlds.
ideas, yeah, because as he's running from set to set, he's like, and you'll get the narration going, and this is the enemy base. This is where he makes his biomedical terrorist junk.
How does he think about this? How does he come up with this?
Well,
he's an adult. He is a fully grown man.
Yeah.
There are adults involved in this production, okay? There are fully grown, like, are we going to assume that he is, like, it's genuine, you know?
Is this genuine? I
is
think
this
it could
genuine?
not be not genuine.
Let's attack that question first before we do anything else.
What do you mean by genuine?
Do you think this is a genuine attempt at making a good movie?
I don't think it matters to me at all, because my feelings towards it would still be the same, which is that it's like a confusing bundle of weird ideas,
Right.
incompetently made,
And glued together with stock footage.
Yeah, I've never seen stock footage used like that.
There is so much.
To me, it doesn't matter whether this is well made or not, or like intentional or not.
Intentional.
It's
okay.
just it still is what it is.
So even if it wasn't even if it was intentionally bad, he's actually hit the mark.
If this was intentionally bad, I'd be amazed that someone could make such a terrible thing.
Right?
And if it wasn't intentionally done, this man's a crazy person who maybe should be on a watch list.
This reminds me of videos I made years ago that are not public anymore.
Well, that's it. It feels like it's a kid's school project.
Well, yeah. Well, what I did years ago, I did like it was intentionally bad video game reviews in front of a green screen with friends, and would get drunk and try and do really bad reviews of video games.
But they weren't entertaining at all.
Wait.
Whereas this kind of
A lot of the things were pretty similar. It was just an overuse of green screen and shitty editing.
And you thought you were funny.
And yeah, but I wasn't. Compared to this, which is funny. But that's why I just find...
Unintentionally, probably.
That's the interesting bit. This is unintentional, and it's hilarious.
Although, I have to say, I didn't laugh. Like we say it's unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's unintentionally funny or unintentionally weird.
No, I did laugh at some things. The things I found more funny were the like interactions between the other actors and Neil Breen. Not Neil Breen.
You keep using the word actors.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd use actors or
hostages.
Possibly friends. Possibly paid workers.
I think he had real guns.
I was going to say colleagues.
I think he had real guns on set, and he was like, "If you don't do this, I will shoot you.
Pointing them at people.
I will fucking shoot you." That's the only reason this movie could have been made. He's made multiple movies.
That and the fact that he had access to a university somehow.
You know, this is like his fourth movie. This is like his fourth movie he's filmed. He has filmed 4 movies.
You know what? That's probably like the clincher for me. Is like, is this intentional or not? This isn't intentional. You couldn't make this many movies and like keep at it.
Right? It's crazy. And it's special. This movie is a special film. It's a very special film. It is unique.
I don't know. I don't think I liked it as much as you did.
No, I get what you mean.
I just don't get... I'm just not as enamored with this whole thing. Like, I understand it's a weird film.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But at the same time, I didn't really enjoy it.
And it was kind of boring.
I mean, it is fascinating from like just sit back and just watch what's happening and try and figure out what's going on is pretty fascinating. But
It's very
I don't know if I really
lackluster.
enjoyed it.
Very lackluster.
Well, there's a lot of... Well, that's what I mean. It's like a student film where they're like, they don't really know what to do in a scene. So they'll just have them stand there staring at the camera for like a couple minutes before something happens.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like spots like that.
And well, that's the thing. It's very slow pans. We only ever get like steady shots or
Well,
slow
we actually
pans.
thought the copy we had was like broken at the start
Oh my god, that was great.
because it kept like freezing, and we'd be like, "What's happening?" And then after a couple of minutes, one of them would start to fade out, and we'd realize it was just really bad editing.
Oh, this movie. So it is a Neil Breen extravaganza. It's all Neil Breen, by the way.
Did you hear Neil Breen's in it?
That's what makes these movies like gold, is that they are directed, and everything is complete control of someone who truly believes.
Even
and
the companies that helped to make this film are made by Neil Breen.
Oh, that was so good. That was the best reveal at the end.
Yeah.
Awesome reveal at the end to find that out. But let's go into this movie. Let's start this movie off. Where do we start? What is this?
What is okay?
It's a fever
well,
dream.
it starts with two long cuts of stock footage
Of children
of
eating,
twin children
just eating food.
and then playing in the ocean.
Right? That's exactly how Neil Breen narrates a lot of this film. He's just narrating, that's me over there. Oh, no, that's okay. So
40% of this movie is him talking over stock footage, or him inserting himself into stock footage and talking over it.
He could have done a shorter film. You know, it could have been shorter, maybe 10 minutes. You know,
Well,
it could have been a 10-minute film. Just chuck it up on YouTube. But somehow he makes them and then he
I don't
burns
think
them
you
at
could
home.
fit this much incomprehensible plot into like a 10-minute bit.
Well, it starts off in Kate and Kale, the identical twins, and then the superior. Jump
Well,
in
I
if
couldn't
you
fit.
think
Okay,
you
what
can
was
get
it?
this, but
What was it?
the superior entity,
Was it an alien?
maybe, because yes,
But
it was.
Was it an AI, or was it making them AI?
It made
Or
them
was
okay.
it?
Wait.
What was it, Jared?
Because it took. Okay, so they are.
What was it doing?
They're
to them?
human kids to begin with. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Then the superior entity takes them into space, multiverse,
Well,
something.
was the superior entity that alien head that we saw floating around
No.
at the start and the end that he's talking to?
No,
When
I
they go
don't
into the what did you guys say it was, like a World of Warcraft backdrop?
Oh my god, that's so badly. It looked like the Night Elf area. But anyway, the superior entity took them and they were humans, and then he made them AI?
He made them more humanoid.
He made them more humanoid, which doesn't make any sense since they already were 100% human. You can't become more
It's hard-
humanoid.
You can't.
You become less humanoid.
Throughout the movie, I was trying to figure out what exactly their powers were. I think they're invulnerable, but although they seem to be like really afraid of gunfire,
Well, I watched The Matrix recently, and it felt like The
they
Matrix
can jump
in
around.
points.
Yeah,
It felt like The Matrix. But they get turned into some sort of super being. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense.
And they're there to fight for good against evil. But I couldn't figure out what evil was. Was evil AI, or was it just evil in general?
Like evil. Just evil.
Like Kuz is evil, yeah?
Kuz is evil, I think. Well, we definitely know he likes diamonds.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
he is fondling those diamonds like
But what about
Epstein would fondle a young... Anyway.
But what about the three... Oh, no, but that's not done by Kate, is it? Okay. So the two brothers... it's kind of like a Braxis, where they both work...
Don't fucking... don't reference another movie that we don't understand.
They're both used by the aliens to fight evil, apparently.
Right.
Was it Kate or Kale? I think it's Cade.
Fuck it. I think Cade falls out of favor.
Yeah, Kate screws up too many times, and they strip him of his power and they send him back to Earth. He becomes a druggy fuck up.
Okay, yeah, what the fuck?
Who, although he's still interested in like sort of fighting evil, because I thought it was Kale who was doing this. I couldn't tell them apart for a long time.
I can't remember.
Because they wear the same baggy jeans, and
Yeah,
you only ever see them from behind.
But they do the Star Trek logic. So it's like a mirror universe, like the evil universe. So the evil one, evil? I guess it was
He's
good,
not
though.
evil, though.
Well, the
he
druggie.
beats his wife.
Let's say the druggie.
He's a fuck up.
Well, his wife did say that she beat him up too.
Yeah, she started it.
She actually did. But I mean, let's just admit they're both scum.
So for some reason, he's kidnapping random.
Well, he's got a beard. He's got a beard.
Well,
you have to say that.
He's got a beard.
God damn it.
Fuck up.
The fuck up has a beard.
Yeah, has a beard.
And it's great. It looks like the Star Trek. It looks like the Star Trek
luscious beard.
It's a great beard. You
Compared
gotta admit,
to the other facial hair in this movie, which is occasionally just mustaches that have been taped to different people.
I'm not
Watching
even,
that mustache move from person to person throughout the film was very entertaining. For me,
because
actually. that was my favorite.
they spent all their money on the mustaches and beards.
Well, you got to remember, there's
what do you reckon?
there's
$5?
maybe 10 people in this film, and he reuses a lot of people multiple times. So to make them look different, he's got this mustache that is obviously like it's sticky tape with a mustache drawn onto it, and it goes from person to person.
Yeah.
To make it look like a more wide cast.
Because apparently he couldn't
the bald
afford
guy
it.
will put on a hat, and then he'll take the hat off and he'll put the mustache on, and then later on you'll see him without the mustache or the hat, and he'll just be a random executive later
This
on.
props budget is legitimately like less than I would spend if I was to do a YouTube video. I like if I was to say I'm gonna do a YouTube
The
video
props
where I'm
department
gonna
was
play.
the local op shop.
Yeah, no,
Because
it's
so
less.
many of them wear. I think there was one guy
Sticky
who
tape
was wearing
mustache.
like a good suit, and then
That's his own suit
the detective shocked me.
because of his pants.
So
those
after
giant pants.
Yeah,
he was
so-
wearing daddy's pants.
the evil the fuck up twin has been kidnapping executives who instantly confess to like all the crimes ever, and then he's torturing them in a basement for most of the film for some reason. But the detective who's on the case is wearing these pants. They look like clown pants. They're like 4 or 5 sizes too large for it.
They look like his dad's pants.
It's like someone's done like a before and after. They've gone on an extreme diet, and he's put the before pants on.
Because they were hitting the floor and everything. It was clear they weren't his
That detective
pants.
gets used multiple times throughout the film as like the other person on the other side of a phone call.
Yeah.
But it's so strange because they use the same shots of him every time, but they won't have him talking. It'll just be him walking and then
Yeah.
flicking the other person talking to him
So you get good views of the pants.
multiple times.
But the fuck
What
up
was the
Cade
point
is-
of him finding the syringe?
Oh, because then he realized the fuck up Cade was the druggie.
No.
Doesn't lead him.
Was that meant
it.
to be for us to realize it wasn't our cage?
Well,
Kale?
I think
because we
Neil
already knew.
Breen forgot about the detective trying to find the fuck up. I think he forgot because he just fucking disappeared.
Because
Like this
druggy
movie-
Neil Breen, after he kills some executives, he accidentally drops a bloody syringe there.
Okay.
And the detective finds it, they analyze it, and they find out it's DNA they don't have a track on.
Because
And that's kind of
this
it.
movie in the
It's
end,
just so strange.
this movie in the end, there are 3 different. In my opinion, there are 3 different fucking stories. And
No.
Neil Breen decides not to finish a single one. He just
So-
stops halfway through the film.
I don't
on
think,
all
I don't
3
think
of
there
them.
are 3 stories. I think there's
Ah.
one story, but there's a couple of different plot lines, obviously. But the reason it feels incomplete is because it's setting up for a sequel.
No, because they all stop. It's not. Neil Breen is not setting up for a sequel.
No, it is. Okay.
It's
okay.
not.
Cade and Kale have to reunite. We still don't really know who the good and the bad guys are.
No, that's Neil Breen.
What's happened to
films.
the druggy wife?
No, that is Neil Breen. He's like seriously.
It
I know
ends-
what you're saying.
It
It
ends with a
feels
giant
like it.
credit bit saying Cade and Kale will return.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't
it's
think
the first thing that happened after.
he just ended that.
How did
for
you not
fun.
notice that? Did you go
Because
to the toilet right
You
at
were
the end?
fucking trusting Neil Breen's editing on this.
No, I'm saying that's why none of it makes sense though, because he thinks it's going to be more.
I don't think he does. I think he added that in at the end just while he was editing, just to make it make some sort of sense. I think he legitimately didn't know what he was doing, just ended the movie, then realized, oh shit, there's all this cliffhanger stuff, and added that in. Because this is Neil Breen, and you're giving him too much fucking credit.
Okay.
All right, that's what
Fine.
I think. I think.
All right.
Well, we have shot like at the start. There is so, like this doesn't even make any. This is the problem. This doesn't make
is the problem.
sense to
There's like
explain
so
a
many
lot of
just
things.
random bits that just happen that
There are a
aren't
lot of-
connected to anything.
There are a
and then
lot.
the connected things just happen sometimes out of order.
Like we're saying, like as Ethan was explaining the fuck up Cade, his story, right? You understood. Oh, okay, the fuck up one. It goes gets people, tries to like. That's how he gets rid of evil, kind of.
But there's the
he steals
whole
from them.
bits with his
He just steals from
wife.
them. But real quick, what I mean is that when we explain it, this makes a bit more sense because when you watch it, it is interlaced with a lot of just random stock footage of the good Kale. It just
And it-
interplay like
and
he is put
occasionally,
into
once
the
or
stock
twice,
footage.
it actually switches perspective.
But it shows a lot of random. Literally, these are just random scenes of the good Kale in stock footage doing things. It's like sometimes there'll be soldiers, and he'll say, "Come with me, I'll protect you."
And then the
And
stock
then-
footage soldiers will start moving again
Yeah.
after they've stopped being blurred.
There's other points when he starts making love to an eagle. You can tell he really likes eagles. He saw the stock
that
footage
was
of the
so
eagle.
good. He had
He
stock
thought
footage
that
of an
was
eagle he's
so
put himself
cool.
into. But obviously the eagle must land, eat a bit, and then take off because he's looped it. So it lands, and then its wings start going forward and back. Like he keeps letting it play, then rewinding it.
That was one of
So
the
the
ones
eagle
where he
stays
put the
still
most
when he can
effort
pat
to.
it.
He put the most effort into that because at first he goes up to it and then he backs up as if the eagle had like kind of
Yeah.
postured up against him. And I was like, whoa, Neil Breen, whoa, don't act or anything.
Now we should say both the brothers are in strange relationships. I really want
Okay,
to talk
yeah.
about the relationships they're both
I
in.
think we should because that's the most interesting bit. It's the interactions with other people.
Oh yeah, the
that's
whole
interesting.
crazy. Kuz is going to take over the world with his Medi-bio stuff. That was just an excuse to have explosions in the background. Like I didn't understand any of that. The relationships were actually kind of interesting.
Dude, Cade's story with his so Cade.
Which one's Cade?
Well, Cade's the fuck up one, and he
Okay, so
is trying to
the
destroy
drug-
evil by grabbing the three executives, which we have multiple scenes of him just
Torturing
shooting them
these
and torturing
executives.
them. That's it. But now
He
let's go
goes
to his
back
actual
to
story.
his house, which is, I think, just a bedroom, and his wife is there, and they're surrounded by all these open bottles of wine that they don't seem to finish anything. All these bottles of wine have like they're all like half full and stuff, but they're the same brand and everything.
Well, they are druggies,
and
you
there
know.
are pills everywhere,
That's druggies for you.
and they're sitting around. They're just like, I don't want to do anything. Where's my drugs? And then they just start smacking at each other.
So they have a few different scenes where she smacks him and he smacks her.
Of course, the audio is all out, so occasionally there'll be like a comical smack, and then for all the other hits, there'll be nothing, and then she'll accidentally go back a bit too far.
Oh
and
my
fall
god,
off
she
the bed.
rolls out of the bed. She just rolls herself out of the bed, smacks into the ground, probably falls on a syringe.
Yeah. Eventually she has enough of him, or she wants more drugs. I couldn't tell.
I think he brings home money. I don't know what.
They seem to really be happy for a little bit. There's this one part where they seem to have all the drugs they do want, and they're just both like, I am content. Yes, this is happy.
Oh yeah, when he gives 2 for me, 2 for you.
That was really sweet. He
2
gives
for
her
you.
2 extra pills.
Yeah, just in case.
That was so weird. Eventually she leaves, and the other brother gives her some money.
Yep. But that's all of Kate's story.
But the good brother and his wife are
all of-
weirder.
that is okay. So that is all of Cade's actual
Well, I
story.
think he's
but
also meant to be like bitter that he's been kicked out of the space program.
They have like one scene like that.
Yeah.
But
Oh
my
man,
point is that-
whenever the two of them are on screen, the effects just die because suddenly it becomes really slow and,
And
jittery.
laggy.
One of them will stop completely moving while the other talks.
But that is Cade's entire, like, that is his entire story. But he has like half an hour screen time. But we just summed it up
just
in like
him
a
standing
minute.
in front of people in a hoodie torturing them.
It's because that's repeated, and then him just repeated with his. He has like 3 different scenes, which he does about 6 times.
We were expecting him to be like really bitter and like kill the good brother's wife or something.
Yeah, we all said that, but again, we
But no,
gave
that
too
never
much credit.
happens.
We gave way too much credit to Neil.
Yeah.
We fucked up. We thought he would be able to do something,
Because
and
the
we
good
fucked
brother
up.
and his wife have an even stranger relationship.
You really need to see this movie to see how broken it is, because a podcast makes it sound a lot better than it really is.
Oh yeah.
Like this sounds coherent-ish.
So tell everyone how we meet his wife.
Oh, the good wife?
Yeah.
Well, as you know, when you're in what's the university there? I wrote it
University of
down.
Nevada or something.
Yeah, Nevada State
Everything
College.
is shot at this university.
At
or
night.
College.
At night, by the way. That's
Yeah.
very important.
My
at
guess
night.
was that it's like a Dolomite situation where he's the janitor.
See-
and he's got keys to the whole
No,
place.
I'm pretty sure he's an architect.
One of them is the janitor.
There.
Okay, one of the actors is a janitor.
No, there are literally only like 3 options here. Okay, or like 4 options. Okay.
Yeah.
So, one of them is someone either works there or goes there and has access for some reason. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's reasonable. The other one, which honestly is reasonable as well, is they just went there to shoot at night
And they said,
managed to get
and
some
the
access.
university said they could as long as they didn't damage anything.
Oh no,
But they go.
no, I reckon
they
they
go
didn't
into
even
the
ask.
labs. No, they go into the secure labs.
Yeah, but have you been to a university? There are kids walking around. You can get through doors.
No, but it's at night. They're just walking through and opening all these like locked doors and stuff. Someone's got to have a key.
No, you can do that at some universities. They're bad. Yeah, I know. Security's bad. Yeah,
But
you're right. I reckon they had access.
They get into the labs and they get into like the computer labs and stuff. That's a lot of like expensive equipment.
One of the students
would
or
have gone
someone who
missing.
worked there had access.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Unless if Neil Breen's some lockpicker, but that'd be weird as fuck. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be a nice twist.
He breaks into these places he films at.
So, of course, it's always filmed at night, and as Neil Breen is just, well, okay, there's a hobo. I guess that's the center of the shot, isn't there? There is
a homeless man feeding two
fake rats
who keep moving around, so I think they're meant to be real. There's a motif in this film of fake animals moving around like they're alive or turning around to stare at people.
But
because Coos, the evil guy, has 3 porcelain or fake cats on his desk in front of him next to his diamond bowl.
They don't do anything.
And but they constantly move in every shot. They're facing a different direction, and occasionally it'll just focus on them, and they'll turn around slowly. So I was like, are they meant to be the bad guys? I don't
fucking know. But anyway, so there's a homeless guy, and he's feeding his rats. Along comes a fairly good-looking woman holding some papers, and the good Kale coming by.
Comes by and just smacks him out of her hand like, oops, sorry.
And then
she's
starts picking up and he goes, I'm sorry. I will pick them up.
Let me
help. And I'm not
I'm so sorry.
You know,
how about dinner? Would you like dinner?
How about
I'll meet you here at 8.
Yeah,
Be here at 8.
No, I'll buy you a drink. How about I buy you a drink? 8 o'clock. I'll meet you here.
And now at this point,
o'clock.
we just think she's a random woman this man has run into and assaulted.
And this is weird. Why would
even the homeless guy who's watching is like confused? He's visibly confused by what's going on.
This is when I did bring up this point. Okay, so now Neil Breen, I'm gonna say he's a bit full of himself. He's got an ego, a big ego.
And he thinks he's God.
He literally thinks he's God. So in the movie, he's written himself in as a God, hero, savior, best humanoid in the world character, when in reality, he's like a 60-year-old dude with a very bad frizzy hair. I don't want to hate on him too much, but he's got the dad jeans, and that's what he is in reality.
Skin and, yeah.
It's just, I'm sorry, but that's not the perfect human. But anyway, that's the thing. I get that if he has an ego, he writes himself in as a god creature. That makes sense.
Are you angry that he keeps like having attractive women around him?
No. Why does he write himself in then in this scene as a weird pervert?
Oh no, but we think he's a weird pervert, but it turns out he's not. He and his wife are just kinky. So he apparently comes back to that spot at 8 o'clock because the homeless person's there and the mice have moved, and he's like, "Oh, she isn't here waiting for me." And at this point, we don't know it's the wife, so we're like, why does he think this woman who he like assaulted would come back here?
Yeah.
And then it goes to his weird narration, which is just usually like spewing thoughts. And he's going, "Oh, I decided to follow her to find out where she was." And it's him just going to his house in the middle of the night.
And then like surprising this woman from behind.
Yeah,
and then she fights him.
He comes in through the back door. And at this point, we're like, oh, what's going to happen? Is he going to like spy on her? Or
He's a rapist.
Is he like invisible? Is this like a power of his? And no, he comes in and she starts screaming and they start fighting.
Yeah.
And we thought he was like trying to rape or kill her. And at this point, I was like, oh, is he the evil Kale? Because we didn't know that the evil Kale had like a beard at this point.
Oh, yeah, they were hiding.
So I was like,
reveal.
oh, is this the evil Kale? Because I wasn't sure what's going on. And they start fighting and they struggle for ages. And she breaks a picture over his head and you get this terrible
frame.
Glass sound effect.
Which it has no glass. It's great. It's brilliant. That honestly, this is one of the best scenes.
And then after a few minutes of struggle and like screaming, they start laughing because you find out, oh, she's the girlfriend, partner, wife, or whatever. And this is their weird rape play that they enjoy.
And I felt incredibly uncomfortable because I talked about this many times before, but it's just an older dude who's put together his movie and goes, okay, I'm now going to get an attractive woman to kiss me in all these scenes. and
There
you
wasn't
could.
that much of that.
It
in this
wasn't terrible. Like I'm pretty sure these earlier ones are a bit worse. It wasn't terrible, but you could tell it wasn't comfortable. I just,
film. No one was comfortable in this film.
I just wanted to say, like,
There was some
it's not
weird
gonna make it, this
sexual
film.
things on between them.
This film's not gonna make it for you. I'm sorry. I said go into any other line of
Well,
work.
I mean, later on when they're in the lift and you see that for some reason, whenever they go to the university, which is meant to be their workplace,
well, apparently he's
although
fucking
they don't,
everyone.
do they work together in the same for the same organization?
No, they just had the university shoot on, so every fucking scene was at the university.
No, but I mean, I think they work in the same for the same organization, but at like different levels.
Dude, I don't fucking know.
I don't know what he did. I don't know who his boss was.
I have
know.
no idea.
Yeah, as they get into the lift, they're all cold toward each other. But then, as the lift door opens,
They're making out.
they're making out and stuff and pretending not to know each other.
And then they also have. Then they walk off and they see this lab room and they go, "I've got some time," and they go into it and you're just like, "No, no." I felt bad. I felt ill.
The whole thing was just so strange. What about the Muse?
I can't.
Speaking of weird women in this film,
oh, but wait,
the Muse.
wait, the homeless guy, yeah.
Yeah, who's been forced to watch their weird roleplay act.
Is that some weird like kinky public sex thing where you essentially like I don't know? Is he humiliating the homeless? Like it's weird because
No,
he has
he's
to
not
find.
humiliating them because he was chummy and he kept giving him coins.
But is he kind of using the guy?
Who was the guy in leather who kept walking by?
What guy in leather?
So after Kale does his whole bumping and knocking the papers out of his hands routine, some guy you don't see his
Oh no,
face.
that was Neil.
Was that the
Cade.
evil one?
That was Cade.
Okay.
That's where we thought Cade was gonna come do something to the wife or something.
Because
No.
he's like following him for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. He just finds him though straight away as soon as he knows Cade's alive.
Yeah.
Like not finds him, but the scene starts with both of them in the same scene, and he goes, "Oh, I thought you were dead."
So good Kale gets orders to attack to hunt down this guy called Coos.
Coos.
Now this is what I don't get. Okay, so the
CUZZX?
CUZZX or something.
I thought
Or
it was double X.
XXZ?
Or two X's.
I don't know. They kept pronouncing it differently, and it's written weird in the credits.
Yes.
Who does he work for at this point?
Coos?
No, Kale.
Kale works for the human agent people, I
But
think.
he gets abducted by the
It's
aliens.
that woman. The
And
older woman.
Yeah, but who is she? She's not the alien AI thing, is she? She's just some human organization.
I don't know. All I could think about too was I bet Neil Breen smells of spam.
I thought it was tuna.
Spam.
We see a bit of the organization he works for in one scene. It's just a boardroom with the same actors you see throughout the film sitting around, and they just word salad different
That was so
interesting
good.
sounding words. Like one of them goes, "Oh, AI that will take over the world." Another goes, "Biomedicine," and then another goes, "Homeland Security is ready."
That was great.
It goes for like 5 minutes, and then
That
just
was awesome.
eventually saying different words.
And it doesn't lead to anything. We don't know what it. Well, he reuses the audio later, but it doesn't make any sense.
You know what it reminded? It felt like, okay, oh, you've got to show this guy's in like a really serious. He's joined a firm and is in a serious business. So it opens up to the boardroom, and they're all saying business stuff.
Business things.
Instead of them going like
words.
business, it's every one of them saying like a weird bioterrorism.
Yeah.
But there's nothing around it, so they just say a weird word.
Did Cade also Cade's? I mean, obviously Cade is Requiem for a Dream.
The drug guy. I haven't seen that movie.
I always reference Requiem for a Dream when it comes to drug movies, but it's obviously his attempt at Requiem for a Dream, and is Cade the one who goes, "Who am I? What am I?"
They both say that.
What happened to
multiple times
us
throughout the film?
I love that. Who am I? What am I?
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened to
Cade
us?
says that, and Kale's big thing is, "I miss what I never knew,"
I don't
which
know.
he must have thought was a really cool line because he says it a few times.
So we got Cause though. Cause is
The evil guy.
Was it?
He's going to use his
I wrote it down here.
biogel.
He wants. He's bio something. He's a biochemical person, and he's gonna use it to cause biological mutant warfare.
Yeah, and take over the world, which Kale tells us actually isn't that difficult.
Well,
It's the terrible ways we live in.
all we know about Cause is he fondles diamonds constantly.
He talks like he's constantly got a voice modulator on.
Hey, do you think it's because
and
they
he's
didn't have
followed
a cat?
around by a sparkly woman with butterfly wings.
A muse.
Who, yeah, is credited as, I think, like the muse.
She's pretty hot. But
She doesn't say anything. She's just always standing next to him, looking up and down. And then right at the end of the film, she transforms into a pile of diamonds.
Is she a mutant thing? Because if she is, maybe we should let Cause do his thing. Because if everyone's gonna turn into a mutant, like super hot butterfly, I think let it happen.
No, I don't know what she was. I don't know who Kuz was. I don't know what his organization was.
I think he just wanted people to be butterflies.
They're teleporting men in black.
No, he wanted people to be butterflies or maybe cat girls. Maybe that's what it was. I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, all we know is that he's got some sort of refinery because that's the only stock footage Neil Breen has that he could use.
He's got a single picture.
He's got a single picture that he
in.
flies around in occasionally in a bad cutout. And the boiler room to this university.
Well, he goes there twice. The first time he goes there, I don't know. There's 4 guys who are dressed
sort
up.
Of James Bondsy sort of thing, but with aliens. And
you're giving him that much credit.
No, but I mean, that's what he's sort of like based it off.
Well, he goes there the first time. Well, no, actually, wait. No, sorry. The first time he meets Cause, he buys a painting of him.
You know, that's where the James Bond thing comes in because he's pretending he's an investor and an art dealer.
Yeah.
And he wants to deal art and invest in his end of the world scheme.
So, but how about when he buys the painting, though? He buys a painting, the muse brings it over.
That painting was kind of... I don't know what was happening. It was kind of weird, though. It was weird in a cool way.
He put stock footage in the painting.
Yeah, that was awesome. All of a sudden, he's holding an empty, like, just the frame, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And then all of a sudden, this stock footage of this girl dancing in paint is just in the middle, and they're all just staring at it for, like, a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some weird stuff. I like that.
Yeah, that was actually kind of interesting. It went nowhere, and then straight away he goes to Cause afterwards and goes, "I would like to invest in your world domination."
And as
scheme.
they're talking, as this is going on, because it's obviously dubbed over, they just walk off in different directions.
What does he say though? It's like, "I would like to."
That's it.
That's
it.
all
the information we get.
And then later on, he goes to Cause's place, which is the university.
The second time, yeah, the university. So, because they're using the same university for everything, the Kale's boss has a view of the bad guys' labs or lair or whatever. You're constantly looking at each other.
And he looks at some very important beakers, especially the ones labeled H2O.
Is this the time he blows it up?
Yes. No, this is the first time.
He goes back when it turns all matrixy.
Well, the first time he goes, it's pretty boring because there's 4 dudes with guns apparently, and eventually he goes up and he finds Cause. Cause says something.
No, that's the second time he goes, isn't it?
I don't know, but he says something, then they just disappear?
Yeah, no, that's the second time he goes in and he blows everything up, isn't it?
No. I swear the first time he just goes and they disappear and then he leaves. And then he goes back later and he says, "I've got to end this." And that's when he blows it up. The first time they literally evaporate on the screen and disappear. And it's also someone else playing Cause. It's some older Kuz. It's some older dude.
Yeah. No.
What does he say? I can't remember anything. It's not
I
important.
couldn't understand at that point. I couldn't understand what Kuz is saying because he's got a weird voice modulator over him.
But he goes back a second time later. Wow, that's after his wife betrays him.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. So, they're working for some sort of organization who are fighting the evil organizations. Again, none of it makes sense. His boss calls him up and tells him that they've got a traitor, and I couldn't figure out exactly what was happening, but I think this black guy who was working for the evil organization was like handing her drugs or something. Or something.
Well,
like, we didn't know what any of them were doing.
She saw him hug.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
that was just a random bit.
That's when she turns around and that's when she betrays him.
No, she was already betraying him.
No, I think that's
she was already a traitor.
Oh, I don't know. I think that's when she betrays him.
Yeah, but apparently she's a traitor. They meet up at his house. She pulls a gun
Well,
on him.
actually, first they go to bed. They have a bed scene. He's sleeping and he's thinking about it.
Now that was earlier in the film.
Was
That's the problem. Like a lot of things don't
That
flow.
nothing float. I have to wonder. He's sleeping in the bed with her. The covers are up. Do you reckon she's naked?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because even though I know she didn't need to be naked for the scene, I reckon he made her be naked for the scene.
I think that would have cost too much. Well, there's the weird bit with the cam girl. Yeah.
Wait, when was that?
That's earlier in the film when druggy brother is still married.
Right.
Somebody in a leather jacket. This is why I was confused. You guys keep saying it was like Kate or Kale.
It was him.
Was it?
Yeah.
But it switched to like first person view
Yeah, it was him.
for a bit.
Because that's when you didn't know it was still him.
He goes, no, I think it was later in the film.
No, it's
look,
him.
I don't know.
That's him. That's him.
Yeah, he goes and he meets his wife and she opens the door and she says, okay, come on in. She ducks behind and then it's obviously someone else walking around
Again,
in lingerie.
It's stock footage of some other chick in lingerie walking around. So he clearly...
And you're just staring at her ass for a while.
He must have tried to pay her to do it. And she's like, no, use stock footage. I'll stick my head out the door.
Because
but I'm not going to show my ass on
actress
screen.
plays her later.
Yeah, because she probably was like, stop trying to make me be naked. Stop trying to make me fucking do this. And that's why he uses stock footage instead. He's like, okay, I'll use stock footage. Okay. Wow. Anyway, Kale goes back to that place and he just...
he blows a lot of things up. Something
just
happens.
starts
I
blowing
don't
up?
know what actually happens to Kuz, but you just see his hand in the diamonds and it's all bloody and he's like knocking some of the diamonds over. Then we see the cats again and one of them turns to stare at us.
It does nothing.
And then the muse woman turns into diamonds.
And then we get the ending.
And then both the brothers are like, I think they're sort of broken at this point. Druggy one.
Oh my God,
The police
sorry.
found where he was hiding hundreds of bodies of the evil executives.
And Kale killed his wife.
And Kale has had to kill his wife.
We forgot about that scene.
She shoots him, but I think he's invulnerable, so he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, but he falls over still dramatically. Or is that just his heart? Is that his heart being shot from shooting her?
I don't know.
And then we get him monologuing again a bit more. Well, actually, no, sorry. We go to the Night Elf area, which is... Is that real? Is that him in a dream?
I thought that was the alien place because that's where the big alien head turns up again and starts talking to him.
Well, it doesn't
Or
help.
he starts talking to Witch.
You know what? It doesn't help that we're... Okay, so we're confused
It
if it's
doesn't
a
help 'cause
dream
none
sequence.
of it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's confusing because is it a dream
I
sequence?
don't think there are any dream sequences.
Ah, there are. That's
there
the
is.
confusing
Yeah.
bit. That's
What was that?
That's the confusing bit because this movie's already broken. Let's add in dream sequences plus alien sequences, so you don't even know when it's reality. Like that Night Elf sequence, I have no idea if that's a dream, another plane of existence. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what the fuck it is. But that's where he sees his partner, and she's like, "Hey," and then she disappears.
Oh, yeah, because she's going off to the afterlife or something.
Right. And then we have a monologue about him saying, everyone has the right to be loved. Something else after
Yeah.
that. Then it ends. So we don't
And
really
then
know
you
what
get the big
happens.
Cade and Kale will return in the next movie.
True, but we don't. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Well, what's crazy is we're watching the credits, and first of
This is
all,
great.
he credits all the people in
Stock footage.
the stock footage.
Because there's only about 10 actors.
Yeah.
Like 10 actors in his film. And then
And again, we're using the word actors lightly. I think they were just like some friends he roped into it. Jared thinks they're actual like student actors.
that was a real hobo.
I don't think they were not good enough to be like even students.
I think they are. I think you underestimate someone. It's their midlife. They
You mean
decided.
overestimate?
Sorry, yeah. They've hit their midlife and they've said, I'm gonna go and be an actor like I've always wanted to
Yeah.
be. And then they've gone to Nevada State College, and then they see a big poster up in their local supermarket, and it says, "Come be an actor. Come to casting co." And they'll
Lunch
cast
is
you in a
provided
movie.
or something.
Yeah, lunch is provided.
Well, lunch is
they
provided.
go there. It's just all hard-boiled eggs and
Well,
spam.
as the credits go on, all these companies start popping up. It's like, oh, hair by BNN haircuts, food provided by this and that. There's all these different
But they're
companies
all
who do all the
weird
things.
names.
And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, these are really weird. Either these are like little local businesses that have like given him a small discount for like going there, or I was like, oh, is he opened up like a bunch of like shell companies or something?
Right.
Like these are all just his things.
I love
that
the
he's
fact
named.
we were saying it as it was happening because we were like,
Yeah.
that's the stock footage actors. These aren't the actors. And then the companies were coming up and we were like, that's incredible. He
right
actually
after
got
that,
companies.
There's just a message saying all companies with B or N in their name
Like, no,
are
BBN
actually
or BN, whatever.
no, just B or N
I
or
think it was
something
like double B. And
are actually like Neil Breen owned businesses,
Right.
Or they're Neil Breen companies or whatever.
So that's the way
Which is all of
he
them.
tricks people.
Yeah.
He tricks people in because he won't actually come up saying it's a Neil Breen film.
It's not a Neil Breen film. It's a
casting by
casting by local talent producers LLC, which works for Over the World LLC Productions, which is a Neil Breen owned company.
right. So he just tricks people into fucking going to these casting things, and then
They don't know what they're getting into.
because they probably don't know who. Like,
Although
look,
I don't know,
he is
are
kind of
these people
niche.
reused in previous
I
films?
haven't seen them. I haven't.
I mean,
seen
he
any
reused
Neil
the
Breens.
actors in the films.
I haven't seen the other Neil Breen
Okay.
films, but I just feel like he probably knows that he can't say Neil Breen films because people would look it up and they see Neil Breen, worst director of all, and people wouldn't do it. So that's why he's done that, maybe.
I think people
do you
would
reckon
still do it.
Do you reckon that I would do it
Maybe
more?
he
I would
doesn't want to
actually
get
do it
like
in that
actual
case.
people who can act.
Yeah, or do you reckon that's just him being so up himself that again he needs to
I
have
don't know.
the illusion of having a place?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know.
Yeah,
It's too crazy. Even the movie is too crazy to comprehend.
yeah, it's a mess.
Okay.
That's Twisted Pair, a Neil Breen film, the first one we've seen, and probably not the last. Thanks for listening to The End of the Reel. If you know anyone else who is a fan of good bad movies, share this podcast around to them. Sharing is the best way to help promote our podcast.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye bye.